You're with the Breaker-Leggers, and we're bringing you a special video of the top 15 pieces of theatre we think you should keep your eyes out for over the next coming months.
From theatres such as the Almeida, right to the heart of the West End, the National Theatre, the Young Vic and beyond, this is how we can help you to keep your finger on the theatrical pulse.
Before you go any further though, to make sure you are kept up to date,
make sure you hit that subscribe button now for theatre news, reviews and interviews.
This is a special video to help keep your finger on the theatrical pulse.
Thank you to one of our YouTube subscribers, Paul Brown.
This is what we think is in the top 15, just a little pick of 15 shows that we are keeping our eyes on. You may know of others, so if there are, then please let us know. Make sure you comment below as you go through.
Yeah, drop us a message. We'd love to hear from you. What are you looking forward to in the next few months? For us, straight off the bat, we have Against, which is at the Almeida Theatre. We're seeing the very first preview of the show, and it stars the formidable and kind of cute Ben Whishaw.
Ben Whishaw, reason to go and see any show, Ben Whishaw. We saw him at the Almeida Theatre last in Bacchae, and he's back again.
Bacchae again at the Almeida in a brand new play written by Christopher Shin. Christopher also wrote the recent Teddy Ferreira, which was over at the Donmar Warehouse, which unfortunately we didn't get a chance to see. So yeah, it'd be nice to see a new to us playwright in that beautiful space.
The next one is Cat on a Hot Tin Roof at the Apollo Theatre in London's West End, a Tennessee Williams play.
It is, and it's starring Jack O'Connell, who I know from Skins, but I know he's done other things.
Yep.
He's nice on the eye as well. Also, Hayley Squires. Hayley we saw in Pitchfork Disney, which you can catch our review of just up here, and we got a bit of an exclusive interview with Hayley as well. Great to see her in a new role, and also kind of steering the show, as it were. The big name in this one is Jude Law's ex, Sienna Miller. For those of you that don't know, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof is almost a coming out story about a failed marriage and the reasons for it failing. It was adapted into a movie many decades ago, I think starring Elizabeth Taylor. Never seen the movie. No, it's a typical Tennessee Williams. We did another Tennessee recently, The Glass Menagerie, and you can catch our review of that just up here.
The next one is the first musical on the list, and that is Follies, being performed at the National Theatre.
It's a Stephen Sondheim musical about the Ziegfeld Follies returning to the theatre, which was their glory space in the heyday and has now fallen into rack and ruin. Some great names in the cast for this one. Imelda
Staunton, who's just finished a long run of, what was it she's just done?
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, which we reviewed, which you can catch just there. Also, talking of kind of Stephen Sondheim did Gypsy. She also did Gypsy as well.
She did, bit of a trend running here. Also in the cast is Jamie Dee. Jamie Dee is a really well-known stage actress in the West End, mostly in musicals, although I did see her in a play called Hand to God, and she's just fantastically strong in no matter what she does. Also Tracy Bennett. Tracy Bennett is another fantastic stage actress who was lauded for her portrayal of Judy Garland in End of the Rainbow a few years back, and more recently was in the musical Mrs. Henderson Presents, playing the lead female character who was portrayed in the film by Judi Dench.
Follies features choreography by Bill Deemer. He's a bit of a legend, really. He's been around for years, done many a UK tour, most notably known for Top Hat, which he won an Olivier Award for.
Next, at another one of our most favourite London venues that's just outside the West End really, it's Prism at the Hampstead Theatre, starring Robert Lindsay.
Now, Robert Lindsay is a bit of a legend for TV and for theatre. I saw him about a decade ago at the Savoy Theatre in Richard III, also known for My Family.
Yes, he also won an Olivier Award many years ago now for Me and My Girl, which transferred to Braodway and was greatly received there. He is fantastic as an actor, can't wait to see him. He'll be playing alongside Claire Skinner. Claire Skinner is a household name due to the sitcom Outnumbered, but has also done a fair bit of stage work recently.
Next up is a piece that has one of our favourite actresses. The piece is called Wings.
Yes, and that actress is Juliet Stevenson. Now, Juliet Stevenson is an absolute joy to watch. She is a master craftswoman of her art, totally understands it. We've seen her in Mary Stuart, which was fantastic. We reviewed that just up here, and also in the recent Almeida and transfer to West End version of Hamlet.
Yes, and it's to note that that production will be on at the Young Vic.
Juliet will be playing a woman suffering with dementia, so great opportunity to kind of flex her acting muscles in that nice beefy role. Mental health issues, topical. We're living in an aging society where dementia is on the rise. I am expecting great things from that. She's a lovely lady as well.
Next up is Labour of Love, which is going on at the Noel Coward Theatre. Now this stars legend Martin Freeman. When I say legend, he's not quite old enough to be a legend, but he's pretty big and pretty current. Known for Sherlock, Fargo. He's doing well on both sides of the pond, here in the UK and in America.
Bilbo Baggins.
Oh
in
yeah,
the Hobbit
epic.
films.
What a role to land.
Absolutely. Also in the cast for Labour of Love is Sarah Lancashire. I saw Sarah in Betty Blue Eyes a few years ago, where she got to demonstrate her singing abilities, but she's a fantastic actress. Started off in soaps, most kind of notably, but has really broken the mould and gone on to do some fantastic drama. There was that one with the police woman.
Yes, what's that called? If you know what it is,
let
please
us know.
leave a comment below. That one.
We don't watch a lot of
TV,
but she is great when we have seen her on screen. Looking forward to that. Notably, the playwright for that one is James Graham.
James Graham, who wrote This House, Ink at the Almeida Theatre as well, The Vote, which also made it onto TV, just to name a few. He likes his political stuff.
He does. He's such a well-researched writer. If you want to have an entertaining take on a real-life event, then look to James to write the script. We're big fans of his. Can't wait for this one.
Next up, we're back to one of our favourite venues, the Almeida Theatre, for a piece called Albion.
This piece is actually rejoining together the collaboration that is artistic director of the Almeida, Rupert Gould, and playwright Mike Bartlett, who recently, kind of a few years ago now I guess, but they joined up to do King Charles III.
Oh, now that had massive success. It started off in town and then it went on a UK tour. They televised it as well. There's a BBC drama as well, so that's done very well as a piece.
Yep, and that's what's really made us reach for the tickets for this one. Is what a great team with a great back catalogue of fantastically entertaining theatre.
Next up is another musical which started its life on Broadway, and that is Young Frankenstein, which is coming into the Garrick.
Yeah, it was about 10 years ago that landed on Broadway. It's an adaptation of the Mel Brooks movie, and it had very mixed reviews on Broadway. Didn't last a huge amount of time, but does have some good names in the cast, good strong names, and it's nice to see a new musical that hasn't been in the UK before coming into town.
Yeah, it's got Hadley Fraser, who we saw in City of Angels at the Donmar Warehouse. He's also done some other stuff. Recently become a bit of a musical writer as well. He's done Committee, which is at the Donmar Warehouse, a verbatim piece based on actual events of the Kids Club charity.
You can see that just here.
Just there. So that's one of the people. Who else is in the cast?
Comedian Ross Noble is in the cast, who's not known for his stage work, but you know, all stage work is a performance, even as a comedian, and he's playing a high comedy role, so I'm sure he'll bring some lovely choices to that. And Summer Strallen. And
also someone from Birds of a Feather.
Leslie Joseph. Yes, she's done a lot of stage work, notably Miss Hannigan in Annie, a UK tour, but best known for that part of Dorian, the Slapper, in Birds of a Feather. The next one, another musical, Five Guys Named Mo. It's playing in a brand new custom-built theatre towards Marble Arch, which is going to be entirely themed like a jazz club.
Yeah, it started off its life I think last Christmas in Edinburgh. In Edinburgh, it's kind of like the first major revival since it first came out. It's also Cameron Mackintosh, so if half a sixpence is anything to go by, I do know the original. I saw a video of it, not much substance to it, just a lot of singing and dancing, some well-known songs. So it'll be interesting to see what they bring to this piece.
Absolutely. They had trouble actually getting it from Edinburgh. It was meant to land in London a lot sooner than it actually has, but it's finally found a home in this brand new space, so that's going to be interesting to see. I love a themed space.
Next, coming into the Apollo Theatre is Everybody's Talking About Jamie.
This piece was inspired by a BBC documentary called Jamie, Drag Queen at 16. The Feeling frontman, Dan Gillespie Sells, has got together with writer, mainly scriptwriter for TV, Tom McRae, who both inspired by this piece so much they decided to collaborate and make a brand new musical of it.
It started out of town, is in Sheffield it started its life.
It did.
And now it is transferring into London. Back to plays now, and what a play to come back to. This is going to be, I think, and I hope, a bit of an epic one. Going into the National Theatre, into the Littleton space, is Network.
Yep, we're seeing this later in the year. Managed to nab a ticket. It's one of the hot tickets in town. It sold out pretty quickly.
Why is that?
Why is that? Mainly because of the team with the fantastic lead name in the cast.
Bryan Cranston of
Yes.
Breaking Bad.
Break a bag.
Breaking Bad. Hal in Malcolm in the Middle. You'll know who he is. He is a bit of a legend, a fantastic actor, never before come to the UK stage, so it's going to be, what a hook.
Yeah, absolutely. Being directed by Ivo van Hove, who we are very fond of. We saw Hedda Gabler earlier in the year, and you can see our review for that just here.
View from the Bridge.
Yes, which you saw and absolutely loved.
Tennessee Williams was brilliant.
Obsession recently.
Lazarus.
Yes.
David Bowie musical as well. King's Cross.
Absolutely.
He's right up there, so that's really good. In terms of the writer, is Lee Hall.
Yep, Lee Hall, known for Billy Elliot, and also recently the award-winning Best Comedy for Our Ladies of Perpetual Succor, which we saw and reviewed there. Although the tickets for this one are sold out, keep your eye on the National Theatre website. They are going to be running a ballot once the Angels in America wave has kind of calmed down a little bit, where you can win tickets to sit on stage for Network and enjoy a 3-course meal served to you as part of the show. Now, something is happening in November. I don't know if anyone will have heard of this, and it might be something that we're just bringing to you now and you weren't aware of. Or if you have heard of it, you may be aware that it's probably going to mean that everything else following on from November will fade into utter obscurity.
Here's a clue. Hamilton! Yes, Hamilton is finally coming over. Very long anticipated. I think the signs have been up at the theatre since pretty much the start of the year.
Yeah, it's playing at the Victoria Palace, which has had a total refurbishment. Billy Elliot out, refurbed the theatre, which has taken a year, in order to put probably the biggest sensation in musical theatre of the past decade, bringing it to the UK.
Now, I would say it's the biggest thing. Over in the States, it's huge. It's absolutely phenomenal. They've had spin-off albums as well. Lin-Manuel Miranda has gone on to do so much, including a Disney musical.
Yes.
Moana. I haven't seen it yet. Is it any good? Let us know. So hotly anticipated. I'm a bit worried. I'm not quite sure how it's going to do over here, because it is very much an American musical. It's about the American independence. Anti-British, them founding the kind of financial systems, everything that is America, where it comes from, the first president, how that's set up, is all in the musical. Is it going to appeal to a UK audience? That's all I'm saying.
As an American teenager, it's a hip-hop history lesson. It's
Yes.
all of that information you're going to get sat through your examinations at school, but presented in a really funky cool way. In the cast for this, relative unknowns, Jamal Westman has won the title role straight out of RADA, so wow, what a hook for that. And also playing Eliza is Rachel Angot.
Who played Gigi
Yes.
in the recent revival of Miss Saigon, and she is phenomenal. She has got a voice to kill for, so what a role to go into.
Absolutely. First preview November 21st. My birthday.
It's birthday.
Yep. And we're seeing that next April because tickets are so hard to come by, but they're going to be releasing a few more later in the year.
In fact, we're seeing it on the 21st of April, which is my birthday. Next up is a bit of a boomerang show in that it's been out already and now it's come back. And that is the Barbershop Chronicles, which was on at the National Theatre Dorfman Space.
Yes, it was earlier this year. It's taken a little bit of a hiatus and is coming back later in the year because it had such great critical acclaim. We heard people talking about this, saying how good it was. Didn't get a chance to see it first time round, so glad that it's coming back into the Dorfman, which is probably my favourite space in the National.
Yeah, it's so diverse. They can do anything with it. Thrust stage, a proscenium art stage, in the middle, all sorts. I'm trying to think, when we saw Here Lies Love, we were part of the audience as well.
Yeah,
in
we
the
were
performance
on
spaces
stage, yeah.
amongst us.
Barbershop Chronicles is going to be set in the round, so we are going to be sat all around it, which we also did for Mosquitoes recently, and you can catch our review coming soon for that.
Next up is a bit of an interesting venue. We love it, and that is the Vaults in Waterloo, and that is for Hair the Musical.
I love Hair. Celebrating 50 years since Hair premiered on Broadway. It's coming to a brand new production, which started off at the Hope Mill Theatre in Manchester and is coming down to the Vaults. The Vaults is wonderful because they do something which I'm a big fan of, and that is theming.
Theming, it's all about a bit of theming.
Yeah,
Makes it very immersive.
They go all out. It's a total immersive production. The whole place is going to be kitted out in a psychedelic 60s hippie type manner. And they've also just announced, it's quite an interesting one, on the 11th of November, I believe.
I think so.
They are doing a special performance where the entire venue is going to be clothing optional. Now, for those of you that know Hair, there is a naked scene. It was, you know, it got a lot of its attention due to that naked scene. But they've decided to open themselves up to nudists. If you want to go and see the show in the buff, you can. If you want to go in the bar in the buff afterwards, you can. Sounds like a great bit of spin, really. It's a bit of a gimmick, but I'd go naked and see Hair. Maybe I'd get more from it.
We'll see you on the 11th. Our last show then is another musical, and that is Big Fish, which is going into the Other Palace.
Yes, Big Fish. So, originally a book, then adapted into a movie, which I didn't see.
Starring Ewan McGregor. I've seen the first half hour. I did enjoy it, I've just never got around to seeing it again.
This was a flop on Broadway.
Oh.
It ran for a very short amount of time, was critically panned, and I have heard the cast recording, and we are yet to buy tickets. I'm not in a rush to see this one.
So you may be wondering, why is this on our list? Well, that's probably to do with the cast.
Yes, in the lead they have, originally on Broadway it was Norbert Leo Butz, but playing that part here is
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, Cheers, Fraser. He also did Finding Neverland recently on Broadway.
Yeah.
He is a stalwart, really. He's got a fantastic reputation. He's a big name. It's only playing for 2 months at the moment.
November, December
this year. So maybe it's interesting. It's Andrew Lipper. Andrew Lipper did the Addams Family musical, which we saw earlier in the year, and you can see just here. But I am worried about this one. He's never had a hit, and there's a reason for that.
So there you are. That's our top 15 pieces of theatre that we're going to keep our eye out for. Hopefully we'll get to review them and let you know what we think of those. Is that what you're looking out for as well?
Yeah, this list is not exhaustive. There's so much on the horizon, but what are you seeing? What is it that you're excited about? What have you booked for? What are you thinking about booking for? Leave us a comment, let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, and talking of some breaking news of what's coming out, something has been announced just today.
It has indeed. We managed to catch this at the Birmingham Rep last year, I believe it was.
Yes, it was.
And it's finally found a London home at the Phoenix Theatre, and that is a new adaptation as a play of the book/movie The Exorcist.
Yes,
I'm gonna do my head turn thing.
This is a bit of a strange one. We didn't really enjoy it that much. I think we saw the very first preview at the Birmingham Rep, and there's some technical issues going on. It was up about 40 minutes late as well.
Yeah.
They had to stop the show at one point. So
we saw a bad night. That being said, for me, and I think you shared this view, it's such an iconic film, and Did bringing it to the stage add anything to it? I don't think that it did, but what it will do is draw an audience because it's a recognisable commodity. Everyone's heard of it. The curiosity value of it all will definitely get bums on seats.
Yeah, there's nothing out there that's really violent or thriller-esque apart from maybe The Woman in Black and Titus Andronicus, which may be over at Barbican by the time it opens, who knows. So it is something that's quite current and something a bit curious.
Yeah, no cast announcement so far, but we did see Adam Garcia in that show, and he is award nominated at least, and he's got a film actor as well. So if you're a fan of Adam Garcia, you might be hoping that he comes back in to The Exorcist at the Phoenix.
Before we round up, we've got some shout outs to do for some of you Breakaleggers fans who are always keen to leave your comments and let us know what you think of our reviews, leave your own thoughts of the shows you've seen, and to keep in touch. And they are
Nathan Dean, thank you Nathan. Nathan is also a member of the community of Musical Theatre Appreciation Society that we both love to post into and love to hear what you guys think in there. So thanks Nathan for commenting. We love to read your comments. Also, Shane Cochran.
Hey Shane.
Hi Shane. Shane always has great interesting takes on the shows that he's seen. He'll share his review with us, which we love to see, and also gives us something to think about from another perspective. There's only two of us, our reviews are opinion. Shane, it's great to have you on board as a third leg out with those comments to see what you think of the shows. Last and but no means least is a big fan of the Breakaleggers.
Oh, big fan.
Means so much to us. Always very supportive of what we do across Twitter, Facebook, on YouTube, and that is Martin, who has the monkey app Hanger Green.
Hey Hanger Green, great to have your support.
Yeah, thanks Martin, it does mean so much to us and we just want you to know that.
So that's what we thought. Let us know what you're looking forward to. What do you think of this video? Are you interested in what's coming up in the future?
Would you want to see more of this type of thing? Does it help guide you on what to book or put in mind shows that you might miss? You know, if you've got an opportunity to get down to London and see things, we want you to take those opportunities, and we don't want you to not realise shows are happening when you could be seeing some great theatre. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button to be the first to find out about our new reviews and everything that we've got to say on all things theatre. We're the Breakaleggers, and we'll catch you again soon. Bye!
And Peggy.